Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I was inspired to make this Get Well gift by a project over on Split Coast Stampers. I really like the bright, cheerful hummingbird on my version of this project. Let's get started. All of the products and dimensions that you will need are over on my blog at bevadams.com. You will start with a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I have scored it at 1/2, 3, 4, and 6 1/2. Go ahead and crease all of the score lines. And on this larger panel, you're going to use the corner rounder. I'm also using some designer series paper. This is the perfectly artistic designer series paper that's available for just a limited time for celebration. I have cut a strip that's 4 inches wide, so you can get quite a few off of a 12 by 12 sheet. This one's 3 1/4. This one's 3/4, and this one's 2 1/4. And we're going to round the corners on 2 of the corners on the larger piece. This piece is going to go near the top here. I am using the liquid glue so that I can have a little bit of wiggle room. And then if you fold it up this way, you will want this 2 1/4 inch piece here. And put some adhesive in the middle section as well. And then the 3/4 of an inch piece goes down here. I want to punch out an oval from this center section, and I want to get it pretty much in the middle. So I'm doing myself a favor. I've punched out an oval from sticky note. You could use just scrap and glue it in. And then I'm going to punch that oval out. I wanted to be sure and do that after I had the designer series paper out on there. I want to punch that same oval out of a piece of coordinating crushed curry. So I'm just going to punch that oval out. And after I have punched that oval out, I'm going to punch with the decorative label punch for a little bit of a frame to go around. And it will go right directly over, so since it's the same hole, you can actually kind of line it up just by feel. Then I want to adhere this, so I want to use a strong adhesive right here on the fold. You can use tear and tape. I'm using Fast Fuse here. And you will get a nice even layer. If you fold it here, fold this under, and fold it there, then it will definitely lay flat. It will be perfectly rectangle here. That's really the basis of the tissue box. I got my tissue from CVS, but I'm sure that they are pretty standard little to-go packs of tissue. And then you can decorate it any way you want. I am putting my cheerful hummingbird on a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this Whisper White cardstock is 3 by 3 3/4. I'm using the hummingbird from Picture Perfect. Now don't be fooled, these images are at 70%, so the hummingbird is quite a bit larger. The stamp set is photopolymer, so you can see through it, but to get a really precise image with this, I like to use the Stamp-A-Majig. My first stamp is the most solid one, and I'm going to stamp off Tempting Turquoise. And I'm going to have this pointing, just the little point just tilted a little bit to the right. Step 2 is the red neck. I'm using Melon Mambo. And this one is easy to twist around. It's basically a triangle. So I want to be sure and have my point pointing straight up. And I want to place this on my Stamp-A-Majig imaging sheet. So I'm going to put the Stamp-A-Majig with that imaging sheet right in the corner. Make sure that that point is pointing up and go straight down and straight up. Now if I've done that precisely, I can place this right where I want it. Put my Stamp-A-Majig back right up against that corner. Stamp straight down and straight up, and I have perfect placement for that Melon Mambo. Step 3 is the more solid wing and tail. This is going to be full strength Tempting Turquoise. I want to ink up my imaging sheet again. So I've got it in the corner, go straight down, straight up, and place this right where I want it. Now I find that if I look for these tail feathers and up by the beak and trying to get the eye right centered, and it's kind of hard to do for me without putting my head in the way of the camera. I think that's pretty much it. Place my Stamp-A-Majig tool, go straight down and straight up. Pretty good. My fourth layer will be in crushed curry, and I realized I really should be using my Stampin' mat. The fourth layer is the one with the beak, and I want to get my imaging sheet out again and ink that with the fourth layer. And again, it's hard to get this lined up exactly perfect without getting my head in the camera. I think that's about right. Straight down and straight up. Oh, that's beautiful. One more thing to add just a little bit more elegance is the Wink of Stella. If you haven't used your brand new Wink of Stella yet, you want to check out the video on how to get this set up. I think I'm a little bit techie and don't worry about directions very much, but I had to watch the directions on how to get this set up. So I'm just brushing on the red neck, which is always so shiny on hummingbirds, and a little bit of stripes on the tail and wing. So pretty. Now I want to cut out this hummingbird, and so I'm going to line it up on the lines and use a straight edge and try and go right at where the beak is. And draw a line up to close to the beak and from the wing on. Then I'll cut along that line. And if you move your paper instead of your scissors, it'll be My greeting is from A Dozen Thoughts, Better Get Better. I'm stamping that in Melon Mambo just below the hummingbird. Better get better. So I'm bringing back in my box. I have dimensionals on the back. Just going to line this up, centered it on the bottom. Better get better. All I have to do is slip in my tissues and pull up a few so they're visible. I hope you don't know anybody that has the flu or is sick, but if you do, I'm sure this will cheer them up. If your sick friend is not close to you, just put a couple of tissues in and you can fold it up and it should go through the mail just fine and fit in our standard envelopes. Come on over to bevadams.com and I've got all the printed directions for you, as well as some links for ordering the supplies that you'll need for this project. Talk to you soon. Bye.